The Uchiha Clan. Uchiha Clan is easily the most glazed clan in all of anime, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. They come from Naruto, and they are direct descendants of Indra Ōtsutsuki, which means hatred is literally in their DNA. Their main ability is the Sharingan, a jujutsu that lets them copy techniques, see through genjutsu, and cast genjutsu of their own. But that's just the base form. Push an Uchiha far enough emotionally, and they awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, and from that point, every single user gets a completely different set of abilities. Itachi could trap you in a 3-day torture genjutsu in a fraction of a second. Obito could phase through anything. Shisui could rewrite your personality without you ever noticing. And if that wasn't enough, transplant a blood relative's Mangekyo into your eyes, and you get the eternal Mangekyo, which removes the blindness drawback entirely. The clan produced Madara, who fought an entire army by himself, and Itachi, who was already an S-rank threat before he was even a teenager. Their downfall wasn't because someone beat them, it was because one of their own wiped them out in a single night. The Senju Clan is the only clan to ever genuinely go toe-to-toe with the Uchiha and not lose. They are descendants of Asura Otsutsuki, which makes them relatives of the Uzumaki clan, and their whole thing is that they are good at literally everything. Ninjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu, it doesn't matter. Every Senju member can excel at all of it. This is because they inherited Asura's absurdly large chakra reserves and life force. Their unique Keki Genkai is wood release, and Hashirama Senju used it to suppress hailed beasts with his bare hands. He also defeated Madara when Madara already had the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and a Susanoo, which tells you everything you need to know. 3 of the 8 Hokage came from the Senju clan. These days, they've mostly blended into the village rather than operating as a distinct clan, but their legacy is basically the entire foundation the shinobi world was built on. The Ōtsutsuki Clan is where things stop being about clans and start being about something closer to gods. They're not from any village or even from Earth. They travel between planets, plant god trees, grow chakra fruit, harvest it, and move on. Kaguya came to Earth and consumed the fruit herself instead of following the plan, which is why humans in the Naruto world have chakra at all. Every Jujutsu, every tailed beast, every Keke Genkai traces back to this clan in one way or another. Individual members of this clan show up in Boruto, and it takes every powerful character in the series working together just to deal with one of them. Momoshiki pushed both Naruto and Sasuke to their limits simultaneously. Ishiki defeated them both and barely broke a sweat. And at the very top of the clan sits Shibai Ōtsutsuki, who is described as essentially omnipotent. No other clan on this list even operates in the same category. The Hyuga Clan from Naruto are the most distinguished clan in the Hidden Leaf after the Uchiha's downfall, and they earned that position. Their Byakugan is a dujutsu that gives near 360-degree vision, lets them see through solid objects, track targets over long distances, and most importantly, see the chakra network running through a person's body. Their entire fighting style, the Gentle Fist, was designed specifically around that last ability. A single precise strike can shut down a limb, block chakra flow, or disable an opponent without any visible damage on the surface. They also have an internal class system between their main family and branch family that caused tension for generations, though that changed over time. Neji and Hinata are the most well-known members, and Hinata's role in the last film shows the clan's potential on a much larger scale than the main series usually explores. Quiet power, but consistent power. The Zoldyck Family from Hunter x Hunter is what happens when you raise your entire bloodline specifically to be the most effective killers alive. They are not a warrior clan fighting for a nation. They are a family of assassins, and every single one of them has been conditioned from childhood to survive things that would simply end most people. Killua, who is one of the youngest members, was already being shaped into the family's greatest asset before he was a teenager. He can rip a heart out before you see him move. The estate they live on has security that could handle small armies. Their butler corps alone is made up of fighters most people would never want to face, and that's just the help. The family itself operates on a level well beyond that. The Zoldicks don't need to conquer anyone. They just make sure no target survives long enough to matter. The Saiyan Race from Dragon Ball is a warrior people defined entirely by one thing, which is getting stronger. They were feared across the universe before their planet was even destroyed, and since then, the handful of Saiyans who survived have pushed power scaling in their series to a point that is almost impossible to describe in normal terms. Goku and Vegeta started as mid-tier threats in the grand grand scheme of their universe, and eventually reached a level where they're fighting gods, the Saiyans. Biology is the reason for this. They grow stronger after every serious fight. Their great ape transformation multiplies their power tenfold under a full moon, and the Super Saiyan transformation, which was literally considered a myth before Goku achieved it, has been surpassed so many times it's now almost a starting point. The ceiling for this race simply does not seem to exist. The Frieza Clan from Dragon Ball holds a different kind of dominance from the Saiyans, where the Saiyans needed to fight constantly to grow stronger. The Frieza Clan was born into it. Frieza controlled a galactic empire and eliminated planets commercially, and he did all of that without ever having trained a single day in his life before Resurrection F. The level he operated at during the Namek arc was entirely natural. When he finally did train, the growth he achieved in just a few months was enough to push past the Super Saiyan God level, which tells you how much genetic ceiling the bloodline had always been sitting under. His father, King Cold, was himself a being of extreme power, and Frieza still surpassed him entirely. As a clan, they did not rule through philosophy or community. They ruled because the alternative was extinction, and most of the universe chose not to find out if that was worth testing. The Gojo Clan from Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the 3 great sorcerer families, and it matters primarily because of one thing, which is that it produced Satoru Gojo. The clan carries the Limitless Technique, a hereditary ability that gives the user control over space itself at an atomic level, combined with the 6 eyes, which appear so rarely that most generations of the clan never even see them. Limitless becomes something that essentially has no counter. Gojo himself describes his own situation as never having experienced pain because nothing has ever been able to touch him. That is not an exaggeration within the context of the series. The clan's existence functions as a deterrent, and the moment Gojo is removed from the picture in the manga, the entire balance of the Jujutsu world shifts almost immediately. That alone tells you how much weight the Gojo name was carrying. The Kamado family from Demon Slayer is a bit different from the others on this list because they were never famous, never powerful in any known sense, and for most of their history they had no idea what they were even sitting on. They passed down a breathing technique called sun breathing through generations, disguised as a ritual dance called Hinokami Kagura, without realizing it was the original breathing form from which every other style in existence descended. Tanjiro discovers this gradually through the series, and once he starts understanding what he inherited, the scale of his family's significance becomes clear. Sun breathing is the foundation of it all. Every flame user, every water user, every sound or wind or stone user, all of it came from what the Kamado family was quietly preserving every single year. They are not the strongest clan in a direct sense, but in terms of what their bloodline carried without knowing it, they belong in this conversation. The Ackerman Clan from Attack on Titan is a product of Eldian science rather than natural evolution. They were engineered to protect the royal family, and what the process left them with is the ability to access the power of the Titans without ever becoming one. When an Ackerman awakens their ability, usually through a life-threatening moment, they tap into generations of accumulated combat experience and physical capability that puts them in a completely different bracket from ordinary humans. Levi Ackerman is the clearest example of what this looks like. He is considered humanity's strongest soldier by a margin that is not really close, and he holds that title throughout the entire series. Mikasa carries the same bloodline. The reason the Ackermans were persecuted is actually interesting because the founding Titan cannot control them the way it controls other Eldians, which made them unpredictable to anyone trying to maintain power from the top down. A clan you cannot brainwash is a clan you cannot fully control, and that made them dangerous to the wrong people for all the right reasons.